Hi everyone and welcome back to Citylite Tanji. আমার আজকের ভিডিও যেটা টপিক সেটা হচ্ছে ক্যান্ডার রিয়েল এস্টেট নিয়ে। তো আমার আজকের ভিডিওতে আসলে একজন গেস্টকে আমি আনতে যাচ্ছি, তার নাম হচ্ছে আজমল মিয়া। উনি টরন্টো জিটি এর একজন এক্সপেরিয়েন্সড রিয়েলটর। অ্যাকচুয়ালি উনি আমার রিয়েলটর ছিল যখন আমি কয়েক মাস আগে জিটিএতে আমার হাউস সেল করে এসেছি। তো আমার ওনার সাথে এক্সপেরিয়েন্স শুধু আমার না, আমার যত ফ্রেন্ড সার্কেল রয়েছে জিটিএতে সবারই খুব ভালো গিয়েছে, যে কারণে আমি আউট অফ এ লট অফ রিয়েলটর আমি ওনাকে পিক করি আজকের ইন্টারভিউর জন্য। আজকের ভিডিওতে মেইনলি আমি যে কোশ্চেনগুলো ওনাকে করতে যাব, প্রশ্ন এবং উত্তর নিয়ে আমাদের আজকের ভিডিওটা। আশা করি ভালো লাগবে। ভালো লাগলে অবশ্যই একটা লাইক দিয়ে যাবেন এন্ড ডোন্ট ফরগেট টু সাবস্ক্রাইব মাই চ্যানেল। হ্যালো আজমল ভাই, তো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এত ব্যস্ত সময়ের মধ্যে থেকে আমাদের জন্য আজকে সময় বের করে এই ইন্টারভিউতে রাজি হওয়ার জন্য।
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited,
হ্যাঁ, আমিও অনেক এক্সাইটেড আজকে আপনার সাথে ইন্টারভিউটার জন্য।
আমি ট্রাই করব বাংলা কথা বলতে, বাট তুমি তো জানো বাংলা is not
হ্যাঁ, আমি এটা অলরেডি বলে রেখেছি দর্শকদেরকে যে প্লিজ ডোন্ট জাজ হিম, কারণ উনি অনেক ছোটবেলায় এসেছে এদেশে এবং ওনার বাংলা অত ভালো না। তারপরে উনি রাজি হয়েছে আমাদের সাথে বাংলায় ভিডিওটা করার জন্য যতটুকু পারে। তো আজমল ভাই, আমার প্রশ্ন আপনার কাছে, আপনি যদি নিজের পরিচয়টা দেন এবং আপনার ফার্ম সম্পর্কে কিছু বলেন।
That's correct. Hello everyone. So my name is Azmol Mia, like she introduced me. I'm a broker of record for Citylite Realty. It's a boutique style little brokerage operate in Toronto. Mostly we do Scarborough, Durham region, but we cover everything, GTA, the whole GTA. We have a team of 10 people, so we service basically the whole GTA. Anything to do with residential properties, commercial properties, industrial properties, name it, we have it.
ওকে, তো আপনি কেন না কত বছর ধরে আপনি অ্যাজ এ রিয়েলটর জব করছেন এবং why you became realtor?
Okay, আমি real estate আসি professionally 10 plus years. But prior to that, I was involved in the housing. I'm in the construction industry for at least 20 years. So within the real estate, I did looked after new build or flipping houses and things like that. That goes back right after high school. I was doing electrical because I became an electrician. I'm a civil engineering technologist, and I have a contracting license for the city of Toronto. And when I got into that, someone told me, said, you know what, you have knowledge of all these things and you know the city in and out. I worked for Toronto District School Board. I worked for the Toronto Committee of Housing. And, I like serving people. I'm kind of people person.
So আমার নেক্সট কোশ্চেন ভাইয়া, যে যখন কেউ বাড়ি কেনা বেচার জন্য যায়, চিন্তা করে বা তখন প্রথমেই কেন রিয়েলটর হায়ার করতে হবে, কেন তাদের রিয়েলটর কেন দরকার?
It's because, like I said, it's because of knowledge, right? For example, you go and you want to buy a house, but as an average home buyer, they don't know what's the process, what they have to do. Are they paying the right price? What our job is to find the facts about the house and the area, right? We look at the school nearby. What's the rating of the school? We do a lot of factors. Like if you have a family with kids, that's important to have good skill, walking distance or not, right? So an average buyer would not understand all those things. Sometimes they're coming from the other end of the city and they don't know about this side of it, like east, west, whatever you go.
So you give them the direction যে okay, এই বাসাটা কিনলে এই এরিয়াতে এটা potential আছে বা এরকম। আচ্ছা।
And it depends on their situation. Sometimes they're looking for a detached house, but you know what? We look at it as like, okay, you probably better off because you're a first time home buyer. You should start with a condo or a townhouse. Affordability comes in fact, the area. So everything, location.
Right.
And basically, we try to create something that fits their need.
Right.
A lot of time if they're searching by themselves, it becomes very tough.
Of
and
course.
in that process, you could make the wrong decision. and it's a for average person that's the biggest purchase of their lifetime, right? And you don't want to do anything wrong. So I always say go and get. And the other thing, why wouldn't as a buyer, why wouldn't you get a realtor? Because
সেই কোশ্চেনও আমি আসতেছি সামনে, yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because the service is basically free. But I'll explain to you that later on.
Yes, yes. So আমার নেক্সট কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে, আপনার তো নিজের একটা ব্রোকারেজ আছে, রাইট? তো আপনার ব্রোকারেজে মনে করেন 10 জন এমপ্লয়ি আছে যারা রিয়েলটর। তো এখন আমি অ্যাজ এ বায়ার, লেটস সে আপনার ব্রোকারেজে যখন ব্রোকারেজ থেকে যখন আমি কাউকে নিব, ডাজ ইট রিয়েলি ম্যাটার যে আমি কাকে হায়ার করব আমার বাড়ি কেনার জন্য?
Yes, of course it does. It's just when you're going, you have to ask. You should do interview with the realtor because you want somebody representing you that is knowledgeable, that is expert in their market. They know what the current market situation is. It's like if you go anywhere, if you want to hire somebody, even if you're, see, as a realtor, the buyers or the sellers, they're my employee.
Right.
I mean, they're my employer, right?
Right.
I'm their employee. And so when you're hiring me, I better have the knowledge that, to guide you properly or make you profit or basically give you the guidance to buy the property.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically what you're saying is আপনার ব্রোকারেজে তো 10 জন থাকতেই পারে আপনার ব্রোকারেজে, that doesn't mean যে সবারই সেম স্কিল আছে.
Yeah.
So it's our job to find out যে আমি কাকে নিব যে আর কি সবথেকে ভালো knowledgeable বা আমার সাথে ভালো যাবে, এরকম কোনো ব্যাপার থাকতে হবে.
Exactly. It's also compatibility. Maybe you like somebody. You might have two people exact same knowledge and everything,
right?
But you prefer this person over this person because
so
you're comfortable with that
means
person.
You don't go by the brokerage, you go by the
person. Agent.
Person.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta go to the agent and say, that's why I said, you know what? Do a few interviews. Right. That's what you do. You have to go meet a few agents, say, you know what? Before I commit to you, I will have 2-3 other people. You should let them know that you are going to interview others. Right. So why should I hire you? Right.
Right.
Do you know about this place? You should, if you're looking for a certain place, I mean, right now, that realtor with yes, expertise. Do they have expertise in that market? Are they, sometimes you'll have commercial real estate agent. Sometimes some people, just do condos. Sometimes they will do suburb, like urban areas. Right. And say, for example, you're going to buy a cottage, right? Cottage have sewer system. I mean, the cottages, you have to take care of septic tanks. Yeah, you could have well water. So if somebody from the city don't know about those things, you shouldn't be hiring those people, right?
Right, right.
You need
because
somebody
they won't be able to give me those information. Stuck.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes, because you don't know. Like, if I go out buying cottage, yes, I will probably recommend somebody that is from that local area.
এই ডিফারেন্সটা তো আমি আমার লাইফে পাইছি। আমি যখন বাসা কিনছি, I told you, like I had the worst agent possibly. I had. So যার কারণে আমি বাড়ি সেল করার সময় কিন্তু তার সাথে কন্ট্যাক্ট করিনি। I did contact you. So এই ব্যাপারটা থাকে, মানে you are stuck with something for long term and it's a big purchase.
Well, see, that's why you need a good agent. So do you need an agent? Yes, you do.
Yes.
And, from personal experience, you need that person, right?
My personal experience, I feel like for buying and selling, both, I need an agent. But again, I wanted to know the answer from you. Okay, so our next question আছে, যখন আমি একজন রিয়েলটর খুঁজছি, মানে আমি আমার বাড়ি কিনবো বা বেচবো, how do I find a realtor? মানে as a buyer, আমি first time buyer, আমি কিছু জানি না এখন, like okay, আমার first thing is okay, আমি বুঝলাম বাড়ি কিনতে গেলে আমার একজন রিয়েলটর লাগবে। তো এখন আমি রিয়েলটরকে পাবো কিভাবে? It has to be a local realtor or it could be any realtor, মানে কিভাবে আমি, how I should go for it?
Well, like through most of the time you see is coming from references, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like friends and family that are very much aware of this person or that realtor, that okay, they provided me with a good service. So it's word of mouth a lot of
Right.
time. The other ones is a lot of people search online, look at the review, Google review and things like that. They
Right.
contact them directly if nobody's out there. You know, there's a lot of real estate agent out there. Advertising, you find realtors, you get flyers, but it's mostly word of mouth. Sometimes you're just walking and you'll find a real estate company and you walk in and you talk to somebody, you know.
Right.
Um,
You really think যে local যারা তারাই মানে best হবে for the area I'm looking for. Actually, that's for selling it matters, local or not. But I don't think for
even
buying.
no, for selling it really doesn't matter because okay, local for GTA is big area.
Right.
Like within GTA, we could cover that.
Right.
But if you say, okay, I want to sell something in London, Ontario,
Right.
I would say, okay, you need to find somebody there. If you want to go to Windsor and you wouldn't bring somebody from Toronto to list your property in Windsor, right?
That's right.
So it's best to get, but within GTA and surrounding, it's okay to get realtor from GTA.
Right.
Because it's the same board, right?
With this, I have another question in my mind. একজন টরন্টো এজেন্ট কি অন্যান্য প্রভিন্সে buy and sell করতে পারে or they have to have their license?
Well, you have to have their license too. Like
Okay.
as I can only service Ontario.
Okay.
Like other people, they only could service, like say for example, you in Alberta.
Right.
They,
So it's
they could only do
provincially.
provincially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even within, like I wouldn't go, say for example, I'm in Toronto and I will do only service in Ontario.
Right.
I mean,
in GTA.
I can do all Ontario, but I wouldn't go further than GTA or surrounding.
Right.
You know, if I need to, if you're looking for something in Ottawa, for example, like I will do a disservice to you if I say, okay, I'll take you there, I'll show you, because I'm not an expert on that market.
Right. Yeah.
So I would actually refer you somebody there that might be knowledgeable. And that's another way of getting to know, say, like, you know, when you were moving to Alberta, you had somebody, and at the same time, I said, okay, you know what, you should interview these other people too.
That's right.
And, right. So basically, I could refer you to them, and that way.
I literally found my Alberta agent through Facebook. So it was like so random, but she turned out really good. So এটাই মানে আসলে অনেক সময় রেফারেন্স বা কিভাবে পাওয়া যায়, you never know.
Exactly.
Okay, so our next question is about the money, fees. So what kind of fees are people expecting? মানে যারা প্রথমবার বাড়ি কিনতে যাচ্ছে বা সেল করতে যাচ্ছে for both side, মানে প্রত্যেকবার, যেমন আমাকে কিছুদিন আগে একজন কোশ্চেন করছে যে আমি যতবার বাড়ি দেখতে যাব বাড়ি কেনার জন্য ততবার কি আমাকে রিয়েলটরকে একটা ফি দিতে হবে every time they go to visit each house?
Why not? You could pay me, but that's not true. You don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay anything at all. Actually, even when you're buying it, যখন transaction টা হবে, in Ontario, most of it just comes from the selling side. So the seller will actually pay. So technically you are paying because you're buying it and you're paying for that property. Whatever you're paying, portion of that goes to the selling agent and the cooperating agent, right? But as a buyer, you don't pay from your pocket to the your agent, right? When you're selling it, you don't have a set commission or a set amount. You could negotiate it. So there's lots of factors. Like you could do staging, you could do advertising, you could do like lots of things. Like if you have to declutter the whole thing, if you need my service to do that, then there's going to be a fees, right? There's so when these kind of things.
So basically, like when people are trying to buy it, well, it doesn't matter first time buyer, second time buyer, for every time they go to buy it, they don't pay anything. But when they're selling,
except I'll tell you, there are situations where say for example you like a property, right?
Right.
And the selling side is not paying the they're not cooperating with the buyer agent.
Okay.
So in that case, sometimes, okay, you could say, okay, you know what? I like this property. I'm as a buyer. আমি আপনাকে টাকা দিব. You get me this property, but buying side is paying for it. Right? That's the only exception.
Oh, okay.
It does happen, but
It's
it's like
probably
very,
very rare. Yeah.
very rare.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's not like it
Nice.
doesn't happen,
Acha.
but that's like
Rare.
1 in a million probably.
Yeah.
Or that never happened to me, but I'm just saying that is a circumstance that you could come across.
Right. Ontario-তে এখন মানে percentage wise মানে what's the মানে average percentage for seller agent যারা কি pay করতেছে?
It depends. Brokerage to brokerage. It depends on, there is no set amount. It's you
Okay.
got to negotiate, you know. Sometimes the percentage could be anywhere from, say, buying and selling. So you give the cooperating salesperson 2.5%. Some area they'll give 2%. Some areas they will give you 3%. All depends on.
So overall, mostly the seller agent mostly I think paying than 5% because
5%. I wouldn't say.
Which like half, right? Because buyer
so 2.5% to buyer, 2.5% to seller. Right?
Which both are paying by seller agent.
Now it could be more, it could be less. It depends on your service, how much service you're providing, what kind of work you're doing.
Right.
You know, so all those things counts.
Right. So it's all paid by the seller again, not the buyer party paying anything today. So first time buyer the good news, or second time buyer any buyer the good news, they are not paying anything basically.
Exactly.
মানে কেউ যখন এখন মনে করেন রিসার্চ হয়ে গেছে কাকে নিবে, ফিস কেমন কি লাগতে পারে জেনে গেল, এখন they have to sign any documents to go for it or no?
If you're listing a property, you gotta sign a listing agreement, right? Because you're putting that in the market. There's no way around it. Right. As a buyer, I would recommend you to go and sign it, because that will protect you as a buyer, and that will protect your agent, your realtor, both way, and so vice versa, right? If somebody is going to work for you, you have to have trust both way, right? And that builds a commitment, right? If you sign something with me, I will, I have a fiduciary duties to, be honest, be truthful. And then when you sign a contract, you're a client, you're not a customer, right? When you're a client, I have more duties above and beyond a customer. If you sign, there's nowhere it says that you can't cancel anytime. You could cancel
that. Okay.
Yeah, you could cancel the contract anytime you like. Only thing is, what do you call it? If you're not satisfied with your realtor, just be upfront with them and tell them that, you know what, because of this, and this, I'm not satisfied with your service and I'm going to get out from this contract.
So they have a way to get out. I mean, like if I'm not liking someone, I don't have to stick with
You don't have to use their service. You could always cancel the service. If they say, no, you can't, they're lying to you. You can cancel it.
Okay, right? That's good to know.
Interview at least 3 real estate agents. Find out the one that you like the most.
Right.
And then see 1 or 2 property, and then move on, sign the contract if that's it.
So our next question হচ্ছে, what are the first step যখন কেউ প্রথমবার বাড়ি কিনতে যাচ্ছে, এবং what kind of research they need to do?
First thing you need to know is, see, there's 3 important things when you're buying a house.
Yeah.
If you're buying with cash, it really doesn't matter because you have the money. But if you're borrowing, the bank থেকে টাকা নিতে হয়, then you need to have 3 things. First, credit score is number 1 thing. That if you don't have a good credit score, it doesn't matter whether you have, lots of money. Like I said, if you pay cash, it really doesn't matter. But if you need to borrow, you still need to have good credit.
Yeah.
Second one is basically related to both of them. So down payment, how much money you're putting down towards the house. For example, 5%, 10%, 15, 20%, right?
Yeah.
And your income. So it depends on that. So incomes, again, I'm not a mortgage agent. They could explain better, but
Yeah.
they
So
have,
বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে আমার নেক্সট ইন্টারভিউটা একজন মর্গেজ এজেন্টের সাথে টরন্টোরই, সো তখন আপনার মর্গেজ সম্পর্কে যত কোশ্চেন অ্যান্সার ওগুলো পাবেন।
okay. Those are the three that you have to have. Those are, now next is going to the bank or going to a mortgage agent and getting qualified.
Right.
Getting qualified meaning, they will look at the paper and they'll say, okay, I will do, you're qualified for this much money. That does not mean you're 100% guaranteed for that money, by the way, because there's other paperwork left. When you do a firm deal that you give them, okay, I bought this property, now I want to need a firm approval, right? Now, only bank that I know that they give you a firm approval when they do a pre-approval is RBC. I'm not sure any other one. So when you do a pre-approval with them,
pre-approval time ওটা ফার্ম হয়ে যায়।
that's when they give you a firm approval. And I think that they have a time period that this is the amount of time you have until you buy it, and after that it expires, right? It could be up to 2 years. That you have to talk to the bank and find out. They have their term. But other banks will go and say, like, you have a meeting with the mortgage broker or you have the mortgage specialist in the bank. When they sit down with you, they said, okay, so what is your income? What is your credit score? And just they will get the general information from you. And then they will say, okay, you're approved for $1 million. But then they could say, okay, when you come back and they say, okay, I need these extra additional paperwork from you in order for me to finalize this deal. At that time, you might get in trouble because they didn't do a full approval. So it's always good to know exactly what your steps do. So that's the first step, though. Getting yourself pre-approval, finding a real estate agent, knowing what type of property you need to buy.
Right.
You need to list your must-have versus, want versus have. Like, you could want certain things like swimming pool, but it doesn't have to have that, right? So list the things that is you must, like you need. This is the things that I need, or else it's not gonna.
Like I have to have the school close to my home because I don't drive.
Yeah.
Things like
Or like, I need 2 bedroom instead of 1 bedroom. I need to have a bungalow, not a 2-story, because my parents are elderly and I need to have somebody.
আজকাল অনেকেরই থাকে বেসমেন্ট ফিনিশড হতেই হবে because that will help me with the mortgage. So that's another big factor.
Second income is a big, because affordability issue again. So all those things count. So again, there's lots of factors that I can't explain everything at once.
It depends on each person's situation, so they should have that set in their mind.
Yeah, the homework you need to do is basically what I need, where am I going to live? Am I commuting with a car to my work? So lots of factors.
The mortgage, the big thing.
Mortgage, that's the pre-approval part.
Yeah.
Right.
My next question, Ashi. So I don't know if this question goes to you. What is the first time buyer benefit? এখন যদি কোনো buyer এসে বলে আমি first time buyer এর benefit এর ব্যাপারে শুনেছি, so what do I do about it? Is that something that they have to...
One of them is, when you're buying a property in, say, Toronto, you have to pay land transfer tax, right?
Right.
They have provincial. If you're buying within Toronto, there's 2 tax. Land transfer tax. One is for provincial and one for municipal, right? Both of them, land transfer tax, you get tax credit up to almost $9,000.
Right.
So if your property tax, land transfer tax, not property tax, if your land transfer tax is, say, 18,000, you only have to pay 9,000. Other than that, I believe you have to talk to your accountant. As a first-time home buyer, you might get other credits from
So
the government, right?
ওগুলা হচ্ছে মানে other than this land transfer, rest of them goes to the bank thing. So ওগুলা নিয়ে আমরা পরে কথা বলবো. So আমি তাহলে আসতেছি next
Yeah.
question. ক্যানাডায় প্রচুর ইমিগ্রেন্টস আছে, রাইট? সো মনে করেন যদি কেউ বাড়ি কিনতে যায়, in that case they have to be citizen in Canada or they have to be at least PR holder or যে কেউ বাড়ি কিনতে পারে, মানে এই স্ট্যাটাসের কোনো ব্যাপার আছে কিনা, যে if they have to be Canadian, I mean PR holder হলে কি কিনতে পারবে নাকি সিটিজেন হতেই হবে?
I believe as a PR holder, you could buy it. Obviously, as a citizen, you could buy it too.
Yeah, yeah.
You could be an international investor and you could also buy it, right? Where, but again, as a foreign buyer, you have to pay foreign tax, which is
Okay.
in Ontario is 15%. So every time you buy a property, you have to pay that 15%.
তাহলে আমার নেক্সট কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে, যখন কেউ বাড়ি কিনতে যায় তখন তাদের মিনিমাম কত পার্সেন্ট দিতে হবে? মানে let's say I don't have so much of savings, so কত পার্সেন্টেজ আমার মিনিমাম দিয়ে আমি বাড়ি কিনতে পারবো? আর মানে ডাউন পেমেন্ট, is that like একটা টাইমে তো কানাডায় ছিল 0%, I know.
Well, 0%. I got somebody with 0% down. I remember,
Yeah.
but they had a good income and they were able to purchase the property. Right now, what it is they have broken down in tiers. So first, 500,000 is you need to have minimum of 5% down. Next, 500,000. So from 500 to $1 million, you need to have 10% down. Anything above
একজন $1 million বাড়ি কিনলে only 5% হবে না?
No, you need to
500. Okay.
Within 500, that's the 5%, and then the next 500,000 so 500,000 to $1 million, you need to have 10%.
Okay.
And then from that, beyond $1 million, you need to have 20% down.
Okay. So we are talking about Toronto market.
This is Toronto, Ontario,
right,
everything.
Right.
Ontario.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Ontario. I don't know about the outside. Okay, so এটা তো গেল হচ্ছে ডাউন পেমেন্ট. So other than this down payment, is there any other hidden fees যেটা আর কি?
That's what I was gonna say. Well, every time you, like I said, land transfer tax, those you have to pay. Another is CMHC fee. So anything, if you're putting down anything below 20%, you have to have mortgage insurance, which is either covered by CMHC. There's another company. It's not coming in my head, but you have to get that insurance, and that could be anywhere. Depend on the property you're buying. It's similar to the land transfer tax, and it gets added to your mortgage. You don't have to pay right away.
Right.
But the other cost would be your lawyer cost, your moving cost, your lawyer, moving, your land transfer. Those are the ones going to be standard. So you're looking at least another 1.5% to 2% as a first-time home buyer. That's how much you have to have. If you have other houses and you're buying as a second time, you could buy a house like 10 years ago and sold it and rent it for whatever amount of period you're renting, and you buy again. You're not a first-time home buyer. You're still, you don't qualify for that, right? So those are the costs that you have to keep in mind. Land transfer tax.
আরেকটা ব্যাপার ছিল, আমার হাজবেন্ডের নামে বাড়ি ছিল এজেক্সে, আমার নামে ছিল না, কিন্তু স্টিল আমরা যখন পরে বাসা কিনছি আমার নাম দিয়েও কিন্তু আমি ফার্স্ট টাইম হোম বায়ারের বেনিফিট পাইনি, because
he's involved in it.
Yeah, so it's like really মানে অনেক tricky.
Unless you buy it under your name only, then it's different. Then you get the credit.
No, still we didn't, because Ajax-এ তো রুমানের নাম ছিল, আমার নাম ছিল না, because that was with his parents, so ওই বাড়িটা ওদের নামে ছিল। তো আমরা যখন আলাদা আরেকটা বাড়ি কিনলাম অশোর, যেটা
But you guys bought together, right? দুজনে একসাথেই তো কিনছো।
হ্যাঁ। Oh, so আমি যদি আলাদা কিনতাম তাহলে পেতাম।
Then you could get that credit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
First time home buyer only applies to first time home buyer.
আমাদের আর হবে না তাহলে। নেক্সট কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে, যখন কেউ বাড়ি দেখতে যাচ্ছে একজন এজেন্টের সাথে, তখন কি কোনো লিমিট আছে যে আমি তোমাকে অনলি 5টা বাড়ি দেখাবো, এর বেশি তুমি দেখতে পারবা না, বা মানে দ্যাট লেটস সে আমি আপনার সাথে 10টা বাড়ি দেখছি অলরেডি, বাট আই ডিডন্ট লাইক দেম, আমি আরো বাড়ি দেখতে চাই, ক্যান আই সি মোর, লুক এট মোর হাউসেস?
Of course you can. Like there's no limit to how many properties you could see. But again, you should look at properties that fits your criteria, fits your budget, and that's what you should focus. Like you shouldn't be going, say your budget is 1 million, but you're going looking at 2 million, which you can't afford to buy, right?
Right. So
There's
yeah,
no point.
that makes sense. Like আমার mortgage, and this is the reason. Like my next question is like, এই জন্য কি যখন আপনার সাথে কেউ বাড়ি দেখতে যখন যাবে, তখন that person have to have pre-approval mortgage? Do you prefer that?
Well, we ask them like, what is your qualification? Like, are you qualified? Like, can you afford to buy it? Did you get pre-qualified from the bank? If not, like we look at it's basically individually. We look at every single one individually.
Right. Because another reason I think, especially in Toronto market, যে একটা বাসা দেখে পছন্দ হয়ে আপনি তো অফার দিয়েও অনেকে পাচ্ছে না, সেখানে প্রি অ্যাপ্রুভাল বা অ্যাপ্রুভাল না থাকলে you have less chance to get the house if you like it. Right?
And it's not a wise thing to do, because if you're going, and because most of the properties these days, I think about 99% of the properties are selling firm, which means there's no condition, right? If right now is a seller's market, you go in and you're putting an offer, you're in a bidding war, you're in there's multiple offer situation, right? So when you're doing that, the best offer normally wins. Not necessarily the highest offer, the best offer. So highest offer, for example, could be $1 million. I'm going back to million. I don't know why. Highest offer could be.
You don't talk below $1 million, I know.
So highest offer could be $1 million, right?
Yeah.
But with a condition of mortgage or home inspection.
Yeah.
But then somebody else comes in and say, okay, I don't have any condition at all. I'm paying $980,000. Right?
Yeah.
Now for $20,000, that could be the best offer, because now with that other two, the other one with condition of finance or condition of home inspection, they can just get away and just leave, and they don't have any consequence to it. But once you have a firm deal, you have to close it, because now it's legally binding. You don't have any escape. So the other one, if they don't get qualified from the bank, they could say, okay, I'm out. That's why they're looking for the best deal, not the highest price. And
my next question is, how is GTA market এখন? মানে কেউ যদি এখন GTA তে বাড়ি কিনতে যায়, মানে তারা কিরকম কি এক্সপেকটেশন নিয়ে তাদের নামা উচিত?
Okay, I'll give you the comparison. So from last year, October to October. So last year October to this year October, the price went up by 29%.
Oh my God.
In 905, that's the Durham region, and that's for detached house, right?
Yeah, I feel like I should have sold mine now. মানে আমি আরো
No, you still got a good deal there.
I did, but I was looking, আমার পাশের বাড়ি এখন আমি like এই 4-5 মাসের মধ্যে আরো 70,000 extra তে বিক্রি হয়েছে without any renovation, so it made me feel sad.
No, you got a good deal, but like I said,
I did.
See, you went and you bought something, that one appreciated too.
Yeah, that did.
So it works, right?
But
both
that's
are
like
same.
something আমি জানতাম অ্যালবার্টা নিয়ে, আমি লিটারালি ভয় ছিলাম যে অ্যালবার্টা নাকি বাড়ির দাম কমে, তো এই বছর I guess something else happening যে অ্যালবার্টা পর্যন্ত বাড়ির দাম অনেক বাড়ছে।
Baridam, like the whole Canada, everything is going up. So like average price in Toronto is 1.5 million almost
in Toronto
for detached.
So
semi-detached is like
এরকম একটা মার্কেটে যদি একজন নিউ কামার বা নিউ বায়ার যখন আর কি জিটিএ তে আপনার সাথে মানে বলে যে আমি বাড়ি কিনতে যাব, এখন মানে what area would you suggest them? যেহেতু
Again, it depends on their work, depends where they're
লেটস সে আমি জানি অনেকেই এখনো ডাউনটাউনে কাজ করে, বাট দে আর লিভিং ইন অশোয়া কি তারও অনেক দূরে, সেই বোম্যানভিল ওইসব জায়গা থেকে তারা ড্রাইভ
but
করে চলে যায়।
even then, like yeah, what happens is a lot of people are working from home, right? So
Right.
they don't have to travel every day.
But
Depends on
let's say one person he has less budget because he's a new buyer for, like, let's say newcomer, new buyer, and their budget is not so much, but তারা বাড়ি
what
কিনতে
is their budget.
I know you would want to know. So let's say মানে যত মিলিয়নের থেকে যত নিচে কেনা যায়, ঠিক আছে, $1,000,000 থেকে যত নিচে
Maybe like a first time home buyer, they should look at condos, right? Condo is
কন্ডোই
probably
তো এখন, বাট তারা হাউসই কিনতে যাচ্ছে। লেটস সে আমি কোনোদিনও কন্ডো কেনা প্রেফার করি না, সো আমি ছোট হলেও একটা বাড়ি কিনতে চাচ্ছি, কারণ কন্ডো কিন্তু দাম অত অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট করে না as much as house, you know that. So
yeah, but it also depends on your
on the
preference.
budget,
It's some people, like I just got somebody a condo, they are happy to buy it because they like the lifestyle of Toronto downtown, right? They don't want to do any yard work.
How much was that condo?
That one was 935,000 for
So
2-bedroom condo. But it's a luxury condo, okay?
okay.
But it's a 2-bedroom, it's a beautiful condo right in downtown. But obviously you could get it for like 500-600 for 1 bedroom. If you're like husband and wife, you could buy 600,000
So আমি মাত্র মানে $1,000,000 নিচে 900K দিয়ে যদি আমি এখন একটা বাড়ি কিনতে চাই, which area would you suggest me? আমি আপনাকে একটা বাজেট দিলাম 900,000.
900, you probably could still get Oshawa. You could get it, depends. See, you could get condo townhouse. You could
Oh
get
my God.
Condo
townhouse in where? Anywhere in GTA?
you could find it like not anywhere in GTA. It's getting expensive. Like average, let me see, average townhouse is which is free. Yeah, average townhouse freehold in 416 is just above $1 million, and 905 is 932,000. That's freehold that does not have a maintenance fee.
Right, which is
right?
better. Regular
Which is better. But if you're looking at semi-detached, you have to go up a little bit. So it depends. If you travel a little bit further, you're probably going to get more land, nicer house, say Bowmanville and past beyond Port Hope.
So Bowmanville কি এখনো ডিটাচড বাড়ি পাওয়া যাচ্ছে মিলিয়নের নিচে নাকি?
Under $1 million you could find it. But it's smaller, right? Again.
Oh my God, I can't believe মানে it's like, so basically এখন অশোয়াতে বাড়িগুলো সব চলে যাবে over $1 million soon.
There are some in just
I mean,
I'm talking but there's some nice ones. You could still get it for you could still get it for, let's say, 800,000-900,000.
Right.
In Curtis, Bowmanville, you could still find a lot of good property, but a lot of people don't want to travel that far.
Yeah.
Because the commute.
হাতেছে যে মানে GTA এর বেশ দূরে জায়গাগুলাই আমরা বলতেছি close to 900 million dollar. Okay, so
because a lot of people, like I said, they're expanding, they're going, they don't have to go to work. They could work from home. A lot of them, forget about GTA. I know somebody that are moving to Indonesia, like Bali, Indonesia, and they will be working from there. That's their permanent.
That's nice though. মানে পুরাই ভ্যাকেশনে থাকবো আর কাজ করবো।
ওইটাই হইতেছে এখন।
আচ্ছা, তো আমার নেক্সট কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে মানে এখন আমি নিউ বায়ার এন্ড আমি মানে আমার বাজেট কত হওয়া উচিত আপনার মতে, আমি যদি এখন জিটি এর মধ্যে বাড়ি কিনতে চাই? হোয়াট উড ইউ সাজেস্ট মি? লেটস সে আমার রিকোয়ারমেন্ট হচ্ছে একটা টাউন হাউস, ফ্রি হোল্ড টাউন হাউস। আই এম নট ইভেন গোয়িং ডিটাচড। সো ফ্রি হোল্ড টাউন হাউস কিনতে গেলে within GTM, এর বাইরে যেতে চাই না because of my work, because I can't work from home. In that case, what would you suggest me? যে তোমার বাজেট?
I just gave you the number. So a townhouse in GTA is average 1,025,000.
What?
That's freehold.
Freehold.
I mean, condo, apartment, I'm not even looking at that.
Well, I
But
shouldn't have sell my house then. Oh my God. Okay, so
we could buy another one. That's not a problem.
and not in Toronto again, I guess. এখন অবস্থা আমার কথা হচ্ছে এখন যারা সেল করতেছে টরন্টোতে তারাই তো সেল করে আরেকটা বাড়ি কিনতে গেলে think about it একটা টাইমে
That's why the problem is. It's kind of like, okay, when you buying and selling, a lot of the seller have the question that, okay, if I sell,
where am I
where
gonna
do I
buy?
buy? Right? That's the
Yeah.
question. Unless
You're
they're doing
selling your
downsizing.
property 500k property maybe 1.5 মানে 1 million তুমি gain করতেছো, but again when you're buying something with more money too, right?
People that are selling, I'll tell you an example right now. I have a client that will be selling soon, probably in April, right? She is basically gonna retire. She does not need where she has a property just past Oshawa. We bought that property for her like 3-4 years ago, for almost not 3 years ago. She bought it for like almost 600,000, and she will be selling it for about 9 and change, right?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
She is not staying here in Toronto, or she's not staying in um, Bowmanville.
Right.
She is moving to Nova Scotia.
Like me, I sold there because I was gonna live here.
Yeah, so she already has a property over there, and she said, you know what? With the money she's gonna make, she could actually retire right now. So she's just gonna move there, right?
That's true. That's true.
So-
Those are a smart move. Otherwise, it's crazy. Like if you're
Other than that, like there's other people that have, for example, there's other people that are retiring and then they have a cottage. Now they that used to be summer home for them, but
now
they're
winter home.
transitioning it to a home where
Right.
year-round home, right? And they could sell off their house and take the money. Some people are downsizing, so they're not.
They don't need the big house.
They need the big house actually. I mean, downsizing. They don't need the big house, so they need something smaller. I have seen situation where elderly people, they are selling it. They're either moving to retirement home or they are just want to buy a condo.
Have you seen any in this market something like this? Je sell korse because market is hot for seller, but then kinte je tara difficult time face kortese.
Of course, there's a lot like that because once you sell it, you need to buy something and you rush, right? But I seen properties that 3-4 months ago that were for 1.3 million, selling for 1.6, 1.7 million right now. This is in 4 months time.
Yeah,
right?
I told you, like I feel bad. I was kind of, it's hard to say or hard to predict je kokhon ki hobe market, right?
In this pandemic, is nuts how it's going. Everything is going up and
no
up.
one knew. Even like যখন আমি সেল করতেছিলাম, I was tense যে next month না দাম কমে যায়, কিন্তু like কি হইলো, like 100k বেড়ে গেছে কয়েক মাসে.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, it's all about supply and demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
The supply is very low. The demand is high still,
Right.
or same. So everybody's jumping the opportunity to go and find any property.
So I thought people doesn't have money due to COVID, but ulta opposite.
I don't know. People have money. They're buying still.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. এই মুহূর্তে যদি আমি বলি যে মানে স্কারব্রো, তারপর মিসিসাগা, ব্র্যাম্পটন, টরন্টো সিটি এন্ড ডারহাম, এগুলোর মধ্যে সবথেকে এক্সপেন্সিভ মানে মোর এক্সপেন্সিভ কোন জায়গা এখন?
It's not the expensive part. It's that Durham region is basically one of the fastest growing right now. Its price is going rapidly high and high and high. What happened is Durham region used to be more affordable, right? And because of that, a lot of people are moving that side.
Yeah.
And because they're moving that side, the price going up.
Right.
But Mississauga, North York, like Richmond Hill, Toronto, those are already established. They're already matured. community, right? The
Right.
price is already high.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, you could see the price is not going as much as the price going
Durham region.
in the Durham region.
That's so
I think
crazy.
the Durham region is one of the hottest market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
if you realize, like not maybe 2-3 years ago, the prices of Oshawa homes were like 300,000-400,000. Those properties doubled or tripled, some of them.
Yeah, if like example, আমি যখন বাসা কিনতে গেছি 3 বছর আগে, I couldn't find any detached home with 500K other than Oshawa. So I could only buy in Oshawa that time, detached home. যেটা এখন কিনতে গেলে আমার 900K দিয়ে কিনতে হবে. Same
I
house.
mean, when you bought it, you could have bought it for detached home.
No, like আমি তো ডিটাচড কিনছি, বাট 500K দিয়ে তখনও আমি কিন্তু ডিটাচড আদার দেন অশোয়া, মানে এজেক্স, উইটবি, স্কারবোরো, মিসেসাগা, I couldn't even imagine detached home ওই টাইমেই 5 লাখে. For detached I had to go 6 and above. বাট অশোয়া একমাত্র কম দামে ছিল, যে অশোয়া ওই সেম হাউসে এখন 900 এ চলে গেছে, which is crazy.
Exactly.
So within 3 years.
Within,
So,
and it is going up.
যদি কেউ ইনভেস্টের কথা চিন্তা করে টরন্টোতে, already it's a high market. So you think they should still go for it? Because
But if you have the money, it's always good. The price, if you're gonna stay for a long time, like a long term, then I think it's better to buy a property if you could afford to maintain it and carry the mortgage. Obviously those are the big factor is
yeah,
carrying the property.
right.
So if you could afford to carry the mortgage, if you could take care of the property, then you should invest in a property, because there's two kind of graph. One goes just
Like
slightly, it just slants upward, very thing, and then the other one goes in and out from that curve, right? Maybe if you could put a picture there,
it's like
put
a
the graph
stock market.
yeah, it's kind of like one goes just slightly like this up, right? And then one goes above, in and out. So if you're holding on to a property for long term, you won't lose money. Is
No.
if you're trying to do a quick flip right now, that's when you have to be like, okay, I have to consider all this XYZ before I just jump in and buying and sell it right away.
কুইক ফ্লিপের জন্য 4 মাস আগের টাইমটাও কিন্তু ভালো ছিল, 4 মাস আগে কিনলেই তারা 100K অলরেডি প্রফিট করতো. Think about it.
Yes, but even with 100K, it's not really, because you're paying land transfer tax, all those other fees, this and that, it gets add on to whatever property you bought
right
3-4 months ago. So even if it was to jump up by 100,000, you wouldn't be making as much if you sell it right away.
At least property value, at least I think 200K minimum যদি profit হয় তাহলে
then you could put 100,000 in your pocket.
Okay, আমার আরেকটা কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে, can someone buy as many, মানে এখানে কি কোনো নাম্বারের ব্যাপার আছে যে let's say I have lots of money which I don't have, কিন্তু
you could buy, doesn't matter.
Really?
If you have the money, you could buy as many as you want. It really doesn't matter. But one is going to be your principal home. The other ones, when you sell it, you have to pay capital gain tax on it because it becomes investment property, right?
So
because
as an
you're not living there,
property, I can buy as many I want.
Yeah, there's the bank itself. You have to talk to them. There's a limitation though. They could give you a mortgage up to say 4 or 5. I'm not sure 100%. Don't quote me on this, but like
say like that's mortgage part, but like
mortgage part. So if you have property that you bought like 3 or 4 or 5 property and you have mortgage on all of them, right? And then you want to buy your sixth one, for example, they might tell you, okay, you know what? You need to. No, you don't stop, but you need to change it to commercial, because now it becomes, instead of residential, it becomes commercial. Now you're doing it for a different reason.
Yeah. So let's say আমি বাংলাদেশে আছি, আমি PR holder ও না, I'm not even a permanent resident in Canada. বাট আমি বাংলাদেশ থেকে আমার অনেক টাকা আছে, আমি এখন কানাডায় বাড়ি কিনতে চাই। সো ইন দ্যাট কেস হোয়াট কাইন্ড অফ ডকুমেন্টস আপনার আমার কাছ থেকে লাগবে, মানে হোয়াট ডু ইউ নিড?
If you're buying from
ক্যাশে
another,
কিনবো, কারণ অবভিয়াসলি কানাডার ব্যাংক আমাকে লোন দিবে না।
yeah, I think, well, you could buy it as a foreigner, but there's specific countries for that. You have to talk to the bank. Certain banks will give you mortgage. If
Let's say I don't need
you're,
bank mortgage.
if you don't need bank mortgage, you can buy it. You have to talk to a lawyer. You could buy it here as a foreigner, but again, you have to pay that foreigner tax, which is 15%, right? I think in Vancouver, if I'm not wrong, they might have increased to 20%.
Okay.
Right? But in Ontario, I know you pay 15%, or all across Canada. You can buy it cash; it will be under your name. But again, if you have the money here, you have to show how you brought your money. Make sure it's not money laundering. So you have to show it that you have your own money is properly here, and it's not you're not doing any money laundering.
Right.
But yes, you could own a property here without being here, or being a citizen or a permanent resident. Yeah, you can hold on to it. It's a very safe investment. The property value does not go down here. Even if it does, it just very momentarily, a few years, then it just goes back up. As long as you have it, it's secured.
With my experience in Toronto, I have seen like only কিছু সময়ের জন্য it was like not down, maybe like বাড়ে না অত, কিন্তু ম্যাক্সিমাম টাইমে যখন বাড়ে like খুব বেশি বেড়ে যায়, and একবার যখন খুব বেশি বেড়ে যায়, I don't think.
But you gotta see.
Steady, yeah.
It doesn't go down that much, because as soon as if it drops too much, it becomes a recession.
Right. Yeah. That's bad.
So, and for Toronto, like a city, we are not the highest price for property. Basically, there are other big cities that are like way above us.
Like which cities?
You could say, like, I believe Tokyo.
You're talking about
Hong
other
Kong,
countries. Yeah.
other countries.
Of course, yeah. New York,
New York,
yeah.
London.
But a lot of people says like Toronto will be next New York.
It's probably gonna come, but still, we're still below the market.
Yeah. Compared to those countries, yes.
Compared to the big cities, other countries.
Yeah. মানে foreigner জন্য যদি কথা আসে, it's true.
Yeah, we have a lot of Chinese investors actually. Before it used to be from Hong Kong. A lot of people used to buy it. Yeah, well, Toronto and mostly in Vancouver, but Toronto recently there's a lot, and a lot of people are from mainland China.
So যারা বাড়ি কেনা নিয়ে হার্ড টাইম দিয়ে যাচ্ছে টরন্টোতে, তাদেরকে আপনি ক্যালগারি সেন্ড করে দিতে পারেন, বলবেন তিতলি আছে ক্যালগারিতে, চলে যাও। Okay, so our last question.
Get into the real estate, and then I could open up an office there under your name.
Sure. I will do that for sure. First you open the office, then I will get my real estate.
So who's gonna run it? I need somebody there already with real estate.
Okay, I'm actually looking into it. So ভাইয়া, আমি আমার যা কোশ্চেন সেট আপ ছিল মোটামুটি ফর ফার্স্ট টাইম বায়ারদের, আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক এর থেকে বেশি কোশ্চেন আছে কিনা। থাকলে ইন ফিউচারে আমি আবার তো আপনার সাথে বসতে পারি, রাইট?
Of course. I mean, this is just a general discussion that we didn't go in depth, like details to jai nahi. But if somebody asks you like a specific question, then obviously we could talk about those things too.
So thank you so much আজমল ভাই, আমাদের সাথে এতগুলো সময় দেওয়ার জন্য এবং সমস্ত প্রশ্নের উত্তর দেওয়ার জন্য। আশা করি এই ইন্টারভিউটা যারা ফার্স্ট টাইম বায়ার বা যারা বাড়ি কিনতে যাচ্ছে তাদেরকে হয়তো অনেকটাই হেল্প করবে, স্পেশালি টরন্টো মার্কেটে। সো অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ আপনাকে। আপনার কি কিছু বলার আছে আমার দর্শকদের উদ্দেশ্যে?
Well, I want to say thank you, Tanzim, for inviting me. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And if you have any question, you could reach out to Tanzim, or you could Tanzim, you could give them my information below,
Yes.
and they could contact me.
অফকোর্স আজমল ভাইয়ের সমস্ত ইনফরমেশন আমি আমার ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে রাখবো। সো যাদের তার সাথে যদি কারো কন্ট্যাক্ট করতে হয়, ইজ অ্যান অ্যামেজিং এজেন্ট। বাড়ি কেনা হোক বা বেচা হোক, জিটিএ এর যে কোনো জায়গায় হি উইল হেল্প ইউ আ লট। তো আমি তার ইনফরমেশন আমার ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে রাখবো। থ্যাংক ইউ এগেইন এভরিওয়ান ফর জয়নিং আস। আজকে
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you and subscribe. Thanks, bye.